If you need to check my genitals to decide if I belong in society, you're not protecting women, you're policing them. Welcome back to Theocracy Watch, fellow heretics, where we monitor the merger of faith and state under the banner of tradition. The UK Supreme Court has officially ruled that under the equity law, the word woman means biological sex only. The case was brought by For Women's Scotland, a group that claims to fight for women's rights, but the real result was carving a legal framework that lets the state bend us all over and check our identity. The recent ruling is part of a broader trend: more laws, more definitions, more control. When you reduce identity to biology, you create a legal excuse to exclude. Here's the gap in their logic, folks. This framework will not only be used against trans women, it threatens anyone who doesn't conform to traditional expectations of gender. What happens when your voice is too deep or too high, or your body is too strong? Your ID or name doesn't match what someone assumes about you. Suddenly, you're suspect. You're considered unsafe in a bathroom, a threat in a shelter, and now you can be denied healthcare in a hospital. Legally rejected, inspected, and ejected, all for not looking the part. Once the state is empowered to define who counts as a real woman, the question isn't if it goes further, it's who's next. We've seen moves like this similarly cheered on by Christian nationalists in the US, those who are obsessed with preserving rigid gender roles as a divine mandate. But stereotypical gender roles aren't harmless traditions. They come with consequences, and now they have legal language to enforce it. This ruling didn't defend women. It narrowed the definition of womanhood and opened the door to more surveillance, discrimination, and exclusion. These laws don't happen in a vacuum. Once they're written, everyone becomes subject to them, including the very people they claim to protect from some made-up threat, while the real criminals stand at a pulpit protected. That's my take, folks. So please stay focused, and as always, be curious. See you next time. Oh, you're muted.
Wow.
You're still muted.
That's okay. Sometimes my button doesn't show that it's muted. That's cool. You know, this whole gender norm roles where they get the chance to make sure you are who they are, this will change. This will progress. This will. Have you guys seen was it the movie called Hidden Numbers? And it was about the black women in, I think it was Hidden Numbers. And it was about the black women in the NASA, Hidden Figures, the NASA program.
Yes.
Yeah, where that woman, that poor woman had to run all the way across and down the way to use the restroom because they didn't allow black women. There's no colored restroom for her. That's the same shit. It's the same thinking. It's the same people. They're just absolutely a harm to our society. I have to say. Let me go here.
I wanted to include that quote that I think we've even mentioned before on the show from the guy who, I guess he was on the Nazi team and then he switched and he said like, oh, I didn't speak up for, this group of people because I wasn't one of the, and then eventually there was nobody to speak up for me. And so he was taken. And that's really what we're looking at. You start to legalize this kind of gender stereotype. You're putting me in a predicament now. What if some dude just thinks that, well, I just wanted to protect, the people in the bathroom. So I just grabbed that woman and I, lifted up her skirt. I just wanted to make sure it was, what will happen to him if he thinks he's helping to enforce the law? Anything? Just a slap?
Yeah. When it should be assault, right?
Exactly. But
yeah. And it just blows my mind that these people care about these things. And why do they care about these things? Who is more likely to assault someone?
A preacher,
a trans person? Or, a white heterosexual cis man over 40, which is more likely.
I'm gonna say the latter.
Absolutely. And yet they're not checking us for some reason.
Right, yeah, right.
Only because they are us.
Yeah.
Basically.
They are me. Sorry, I'm speaking for me as an us. Daryl, good morning. Exorcist Atheist, good morning. John the Heretic, good morning. It's all about women controlling women. Well, indeed, it's all about men controlling women. And now it's become about it. We can't forget that. Men controlling women. Always got to know that that's what's the core of it. But it's also about being able to actively persecute someone They can persecute trans peoples because so many people feel they feel like they get support by so many people when they do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're allowed to other people now under the guise of, under the law, under the guise of, trying to protect women, when really now you've just opened us all up, woman or not, just if you don't look appropriate, whatever the frick that means.
And, I really did kind of think we'd come a long way in the last few years. During the Obama era and during the Biden era, we'd come a long way. People were coming out. They were getting medical treatment and, going to the people in the government, in the VA, were getting treatment for conversion therapy, all this stuff. And it actually turned out to be this big, huge thing. All those people who felt free to be themselves did nothing but expose themselves to a fascist Christian dictatorship theocracy that was coming and could possibly get worse and would instantly discriminate against them. First thing he did, take away their medications and forcing them to...
That's deplorable.
What a shit. Why is it the worst people? The worst group of people.
I don't know.
Man.
Anyway, good, noisy one. Good morning. Is minutes. I just noticed there's a lot of chat going on, a lot of words. Just seeing where you're at here. I like shouting out the new people. The story of Paul in the Bible teaches us that being opposed to Jesus is the best way to get a revelation. He was persecuting. Thank you, Willow Dog.
That's why we have to persecute them so they can get closer to Jesus. We don't want an anti-Christian task force.
Clearly.
They're going to ruin it. We're helping you.
That's
get
right.
The Bible
closer to
says,
God.
blessed are you when they persecute you. We're blessing you. Man.
And I have to, but guys, as we proved by this letter, they are clearly capable of being sorely oppressed while being the oppressor.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, you're hurting me. Stop. Stop. You're hurting me.
They literally take the Bible and just beat it. Oh my gosh, stop. I'm virgin.
Oh, man.
Crazy. I know it scared our lighting operator, Jack. He got very scared. He doesn't like it when Papa gets all loud. Here's Jack. He's our lighting operator on the show. He runs the things.
Jack.
If you're new to the show, my dogs help me out. Hi, I know, but he was very scary. Papa got loud. I know Daisy's a little giving me the side eye. Okay, are you okay?
Like, what's wrong with you, Dad?
Do that, Jackie.
I don't know what's wrong with Daddy. Sorry, honey.
There you go.